So you actually went to Catholic school, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you in Catholic school for like your whole life?
Whole life from pre-K. I went to two schools before I went to Full Sail when I graduated. I went to a school called St. John Vianney. Shouts to my SJV family. And then after that, I went to a school called Powers Catholic High School. Shouts to my Powers, go orange, go blue. Shouts to my Powers family. So yep, I went to two schools and they were both Catholic schools.
So what was that experience like? Do you feel like that strayed you away from the streets?
Absolutely. I think I inherently strayed away from the streets just because that's not who I am as a person.
Mhm.
But I think that going to Catholic school kind of solidified and gave me it validated my opinions on why I shouldn't be in the streets for sure. Um, like I said, I find and I think that my experience growing up was dope just because I did grow up in the hood, right? And I grew up seeing the decisions that were made, the conversations that's being had. I grew up seeing kids don't well today's a little different, but back in my day, it's like you didn't grow up with like a quote unquote hood mentality. You grew up a regular kid, and then the people that were around you that you looked up to kind of molded your mentality as you got older. And that's what I learned about growing up in the hood. It's like we all started off at the same point, but then this person started looking up to this guy who sold drugs and idolizing it, and he wanted to be like him. This guy thought this guy was cool because he got all the girls, so he started straying and acting like this. I just kind of stayed on a straight path by going to private school and seeing the other side of the tracks. It was like it showed me that there was things that I wanted to experience that if I glamorized or idolized the dudes that was selling dope in the neighborhood or the dudes that was up to no good, I was never going to be able to see these things as I was hearing about at school. Like when kids would talk about I had never been on an airplane before. The first time I was on an airplane was when I was 18 years old and I went to orientation to go to Full Sail. It was like because just in my neighborhood and in Flint in general back then, it wasn't, where the fuck where was we going? So it was like at school you hear about these kids coming back when we got to come back to school. You hearing about, oh, I just got back from up north, I just got back from California, I just got back from Miami, I just got back from New York, oh my god, I just got back from Texas. And I'm listening like, damn, that seemed like it's some cool shit to do. So I think that having the dynamic of both actually helped me, because going to private school helped me to thrive and to have ambitions to go see. I want to have those conversations too. I don't want to fucking talk about, I just got out the county, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, shit, the food in the county trash, bro. And I'm watching these motherfuckers like bond over being locked up. I don't want to fucking bond over being locked up, bro. Like I want to bond over, yo, did you try the restaurant in Miami where they have the sushi with that sound like some fly shit to me. Like I want to bond over the conversation of, I hate traveling on two different flights and I like having a straight flight. These conversations sounded more fly to me than, bro, do they still got the same CO in the No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what it's like to have a fucking PO. I don't want to know. None of that shit ever sound cool to me. So going to private school definitely gave me validation of like, yeah, these conversations sound way more fly than these conversations. And I just want to teach my people how to stop glamorizing the bullshit. Like there's a whole other side of life out there that we are stopping ourselves from being able to get to because we're glamorizing the wrong shit.
I like what you brought up earlier, right? When you were talking about basically like kids, we all start out at the same level. It's almost like the whole argument of like, you're born innocent, are humans inherently born good, right? You know what I'm saying? Before the environment and your influences start to happen. So that's a really dope thing that you're talking about, because like, when you start to witness different things and you be influenced by it, and obviously you're like, oh yeah, that guy, he has the girls, he has the money, he has the car and stuff like that. I want to be like that. So now I'm going down this route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for you though, like, going to Catholic school, was there a lot of black kids in Catholic school with you, or it was like mainly white?
It was mainly white, but it was some sprinkles of us in there, you know what I'm saying? Some little chocolate drops up in there, you feel me? Like it was some black kids in there, man. And yeah, but obviously it was, but you know what? I'll keep it super real. It was sprinkles of black kids, but also it was sprinkles of Hispanic kids. It was sprinkles of Asian kids. It was sprinkles of, I remember, Indian kids. Like, so it was the schools that I went to. I know, yeah, the schools that I went to, I would say they were multicultural. There were a lot of Middle Eastern, Chaldean, and Arabic descent people that went to the schools that I went to. So I would say, on top of it being your share of black kids there, it was also very culturally diverse to where it was a lot of other nationalities that went to those schools too.
Yeah, so your worldly view was so much wider than a lot of people then at a young age, right?
Absolutely.
Because like, you know, like I genuinely believe in the saying that, you know, you are the company that you keep, right? And your
Facts.
environment really helps shape your thoughts. So like, when if you're just staying on the block all day long and you're around that same element, this is all you know. You never left, you know, that area. You never gone travel to a different city. You never seen different things. You know, that type of stuff is not being introduced to your brain about how big the world really is, what else is really out there. This is all you know, right? So, like,
Facts.
to piggyback off of what you were saying earlier, when you went up to Full Sail, you're hearing everybody talk about they travel in here, they go in here and stuff like that, and you didn't want to bond with people about, yo, I just got out the county, the same old shit, basically. You know what I'm saying? That
Hmm.
that, you know, basically like a generational curse of the same thing that is happening over and over again,
Yeah.
right? You know, did people look at you different or like question your blackness? Because, you know, like it kind of that kind of happens in hip hop culture a lot, where it's like, you I don't know, it's like a it's really contradictory, where it's like, okay, like, you if someone becomes successful and they strive for more, then they're called the nerd, or they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're made fun of to be made feel like they're less, you know, like, and it's like this side of it is like, if you're a gangster or something like that, then that's the real, you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And so, yeah, I definitely want to tap in on that. And I want to say too, just so, because we live in a world where people take shit so wrong nowadays, not to say, and not saying that you said this, but just clarity for anybody who watched this, not to say that I didn't want to bond with my people. I didn't want to bond with my people over bullshit. You feel me? Like, just so the people watching this,
You wanted to
it's
show
like,
them more. What
yes, I want,
more,
like,
right?
when they would have conversations with me about negative shit, I would take the conversation to music, or I would take it to something positive as opposed to bonding over things that was negative. But now to answer your question, yeah, it was that divide, especially like, bro, in the 90s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now things are, you know, I don't know how things are now. I feel like things are way more integrated as
Because
far
I
as
think social
kids.
media, because you get to see everywhere,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
man, in the 90s, it was definitely me and my sister had to, when we went home and got off the school bus, it was, why y'all talk white? You sound white. Why you sound white? And then on the same token, sometimes when I would go to school, it was like the white kids would say something about me sounding too black. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that sounds ghetto. Like, you sound ghetto when you say that.
So you're not
So
good
it
enough for either side, basically. You're
wasn't good
making
enough
it
for
feel like
either
that.
side. But what that forced me to do is find myself. It's
Mhm.
like, fuck that. I'm gonna be whoever I am, and whoever rock with me, whoever don't. That's what it forced out of me. But I definitely, me and my sister, we had to go through that. That's the battles that we had to fight. That at times when you went home, it was like you ain't whatever black enough is for the hood, and then you too black when you get to school. And I think that it forced me and my sister to just be like, listen, I am who I am. Like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And so that's kind of, you know, how I found myself, really, you know.
That's dope, man. Definitely got to commend you for that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it,
Like,
man.
I think that one of the best things that anybody can ever do in life is figure out who you are, because the sooner that you figure that out, everything else becomes more clear to you. Your decisions about where you trying to go, what you trying to do and stuff like that makes it a lot easier, man.
110%. Thank you for saying that, man. Like, thank you for saying. And I encourage all people out there watching this, man. If you got to change who you are, to fit into any environment, then fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Find your tribe, and your tribe might. Who knows what the fuck that looks like? You know what I'm saying? Just find the people that allow you to be who you are comfortably. Period. You know what I'm saying? And accept you for whoever you are and whatever you are. I remember I had a conversation in the studio. This is probably in like 2012 when I'm working on an album I did called Season 2. And I'm talking to one of the homies and I had an epiphany. I was like, bro, sometimes I hate being in Flint. And he was like, why you say that? I said, because just to survive here, I have to wear a mask of being something that I'm really not. He said, well, what you mean? I said, well, because one time he came in the studio and I was making a beat and it was like an R&B type beat. And he said something to me like, here you go making this soft ass shit, right? So I had to, my Flint response had to be, man, fuck you, nigga. But that's not what I want to say. What I want to say is, I actually like all types of music. Why don't you? I actually like all types of music. This actually, I'm influenced by Stevie Wonder. I'm influenced by Bobby Womack. But I can't fucking have that conversation with you because we in Flint. And if I have that conversation with you, you gonna call me soft again, and we gonna fight. And I don't want that, but it's like to survive in this environment, I have to give you a response that you respect, but that's not who I am. And so I used to be torn sometimes. So then, like I said, I just got to a point where it's like, you know what? I don't give a fuck who it is. I'm going to be the person that in the hood, if somebody say like, oh, you making some soft ass girl shit, and I'm gonna be like, man, you don't know where this sample came from, man. This a Prince sample, man. Let me put you on to the real song. I had to learn how to be fearlessly me. I had to in a room full of motherfuckers that probably got guns and dope on them. I had to be the artist that I am. I had to learn how to fight for me. I had to learn how to be unapologetically me around motherfuckers that honestly, if they ain't respect you, then it could have went down. So it's like that's why I think these days, and especially in like situations like this or interviews or times that I get to express myself, I think that's why I come off the way that I do, is because I had to fight to be confident in who I am.
Yeah, and there's no worse feeling, bro, when you have to suppress who you really are, right? For so long and everything like that. And then like when you finally get to really be who you are, step into that light, it's it's like what you were talking about with your mom. It's like you feel that weight shed off of you, that burden of feeling like, you know what I'm saying? That energy. So
Facts.
that's dope, man.